Grand Teton National Park is locked in snow and ice. The perfect playground for otters. It may look fun, but this family is here on serious business. They need to find access to open water. And the fish below. The Snake River provides an important protein source during the winter months. Cutthroat trout. Catching them is easy. Keeping them is the hard part. Sneaky scavengers try their luck. It's a constant dance for resources in Grand Teton National Park. Shrouded by a veil of white, winter dazzles. Oxbow Bend, an iconic part of the Snake River, rarely freezes entirely. It's a favorite denning and feeding spot for the otter family. But they're not the only ones that come here to hunt. In the right conditions, coyotes can sniff out food up to a mile away. An otter makes a tasty treat. Coyotes may be wily, but these otters are one step ahead. They bust out the back door, and the coyote goes hungry today. When the coast is clear, it's back to business. Above or below water, their fur keeps them toasty in the iciest conditions. Rolling in snow keeps it warm and waterproof. Grand Teton is the perfect place for otters to keep in top condition. It snows here for over 6 months a year. For the otters, it's no problem. There's plenty to go around. Grand Teton National Park is a 310,000-acre winter wonderland. The park is named for Grand Teton, a proud ice maiden whose snow-capped peaks stand at nearly 14,000 feet. The Teton Range is the reason this park spends over half the year buried in snow. Water evaporates from the Pacific Ocean, traveling uninterrupted across low-level plains until clouds come crashing into Teton's giant peaks, where they release epic snowfall. More than 40 feet can dump here in just one season. It's this volume of snow that makes Grand Teton National Park so special. This red fox is perfectly suited to life in the white stuff. Taking a canine catnap out in the open, she uses her bushy tail as a portable blanket, sleeping like this even during the coldest winter nights. Today, the sun is shining, and a vole enjoys a spring stroll. It doesn't go unnoticed. The vole seeks refuge in a network of underground tunnels. But out of sight is not out of mind. The fox's hearing is her ultimate weapon. Tilting her head from side to side, she zones in on the target. No luck this time. But Grand Teton provides perfect mousing conditions. Bingo. For the other residents, it's not so straightforward. Some are skating on thin ice. Cold paws are a small price to pay for his first taste of fresh water since last year. Finding food is the next priority. And hungry grizzlies are waking up all over the park, including this new mom who hasn't eaten in over 6 months. This multitasking mom gave birth in her den and has been nursing these 2 hungry mouths for 3 months. All without eating or drinking anything herself. It's cost her 1/3 of her body weight. She needs to find food fast. Easier said than done with these 2 in tow. Her rich milk has filled them with energy. And now she's running on empty. The cubs are naive to the plight of their hungry mom. But it's not all fun and games. Male grizzlies emerged from the den 2 months ago, gaining a head start on the hunt for food. They will kill young cubs for a better chance of mating. Mom does her best to avoid them. The cubs are none the wiser. So focused on exploring, they drift off from Mom, who's busy searching for spring shoots. As they wander further away, they head straight into trouble. Male grizzlies aren't the only danger. The weather here can turn on a dime. It's their very first spring, and they have no idea how easy it is to get lost in a Grand Teton blizzard. The cubs are completely alone. Mom's senses go into overdrive. It's the first time the family has been apart. She searches on. Their chance of surviving without her is virtually zero. But then, the cubs spot her through the snow. Thankfully, there's no harm done. And hopefully, a lesson learned. Mom can nurse her cubs for up to 2 years. During that time, she'll teach them everything there is to know about this wilderness. Their personal tour guide in Grand Teton National Park. As the spring thaw begins, treasures will soon be revealed. Every year, the warming temperatures trigger the snow and ice to melt. Perhaps the single biggest event on the Grand Teton calendar. It's also the signal for both wildlife and people to return to these lands. Hunter-gatherers came to the Grand Teton region at least 11,000 years ago. Their pattern of leaving this land during winter months and returning to reap the bounty of summer has been followed by the Shoshone, Nez Perce, Gros Ventre, Blackfoot, and Crow tribes, among others, for thousands of years. But the Jackson elk herd have been doing this for even longer. Their migration is driven by the retreating snow line, revealing the greening grasses beneath. The elk might arrive in April one year and July the next, depending on the timing of the snow melt. The process releases millions of gallons of water gushing down the mountains, where it feeds the swelling Snake River, a source of life providing fresh water to both plants and animals. Including a gathering of fine spotted cutthroat trout found in these waters and nowhere else in America. Each year, they gather here in large numbers to breed. This female, known as a hen, is getting ready for just that. She digs a nest called a redd, turning on her side and flexing her body in the process. This attracts the attention of the males. who chase each other off and vie for top spot. The process of digging and chasing can last days. Finally, when the water reaches the right temperature, she releases up to 4,000 eggs, triggering a mad dash in the battle to fertilize them first. The hen keeps her eggs safe, burying them under gravel. For this new generation of trout, survival began months earlier in the snowy mountain slopes of the park. Larger snowpack years translate into huge quantities of melting water. This water flushes away the fine sediments and provides an oxygen boost in the process. The result? An improved spawning habitat for the trout, and ultimately, better fishing in the years to come. Good news for the thousands of visitors who come to the park each year to fish. The snowmelt creates pristine river conditions for another creature to thrive. The Pylos crayfish. Living between the logs brought here by the beaver. Their hard work has provided him with a home and a hiding place from predators. This premium spot attracts the attention of a male rival. Raising his claws, he tries to scare off the intruder, who responds defiantly by raising his own. What we have here is a showdown. But crayfish are adept in the art of bluffing. Some grow large claws that are actually weaker in pinching power, so bigger is not always better. There's only one way to find out. The big guy wasn't bluffing after all. The battle wasn't in vain. Crayfish are clever. They recognize and remember the face of rivals. If this intruder tries again, he will be remembered. His opponent retreats. The winner holds on to this perfect spot. The Snake River flows all year round, thanks to some friends in high places. Whitebark pine, the rooftop of Grand Teton, plays a leading role in helping this ecosystem thrive. By capturing snowdrifts and creating shade, they slow the melting snow, which feeds the Snake River and surrounding wetlands well into summer. When the blanket of snow has been lifted, the diverse range of habitats that make up Grand Teton National Park are finally revealed. The mountains stand like watchful guardians, over the rich landscape below. This unique blend of habitats catches a special eye. Hummingbirds travel all the way from Mexico, nearly 2,000 miles away, for the perfect breeding grounds found here in Grand Teton National Park. The males normally arrive first and establish their territory, which they defend from rivals. It's a spot worth fighting for, filled with nectar-rich flowers, which means a better chance of attracting a mate. This female won't just pair up with anyone. She considers how much food is available in her suitor's territory. Plentiful food sources are essential. Hummingbirds eat up to 12 times their own body weight in nectar daily. They collect pollen while feasting on the sugary nectar. And with each new meal, the birds pollinate the park's blooms, ensuring a future flower feast for all. Hummingbirds time their arrival with the park's earliest blooming flowers, traveling thousands of miles every year to make the most of Grand Teton's summer bounty. But confined to the alpine slopes, spending their whole lives in just a few square miles of the park, is one animal whose life depends on a summer of plenty. Only the toughest, bravest, some might say, downright craziest of animals live up here in this wind-swept no man's land. Small, but mighty. Blink and you'll miss it. An American pika. She may look like a tan, potato-sized furball, but this rabbit relative is tough as nails. At around 10,000 feet, the treeless slopes of the Teton Mountain Range are one of the most inhospitable places to live in the park. But this pile of rubble, known as talus, is prime pika real estate. Formed from chunks of rock that fell off the top of the Teton Mountains, it contains some of the oldest rocks in North America. To her, it's home. She hunkered down here during winter, patiently waiting for the snow to melt. Now, summer's here, and it's time to get to work. She gathers her favorite grasses and wildflowers. As the saying goes, make hay while the sun shines. And that's exactly what she's doing. She works for hundreds of hours across the short summer months, gathering foliage to be dried and stored over winter as hay. And when you're this focused on the task at hand, it's easy to miss the lone predators who lurk up here. But there is safety in numbers. This neighborhood watch is the secret to surviving up here, enabling each pika to maximize haymaking time. The summers are fleeting in Grand Teton National Park, and even shorter up high in the Alpine Zone, In the forest, Mama Bear is teaching her cubs the next valuable lesson: dining out. She knows how to find food in almost every habitat within the park. Her powerful nose, 2,000 times more sensitive than a human's, has detected dinner. Ants, a protein-rich treat. She extracts them easily using long finger-like claws. Her cubs give it a try, but they don't quite have the knack yet. They learn firsthand not to bite off more than they can chew. On the Snake River, biting and chewing is no problem for a beaver feasting on Grand Teton's bounty of trees. The Snake River is a lifeline for wildlife, not only in the park, but across regions of the western states. Its protection here is crucial for a whole host of animals, including arguably the most famous bear in North America. Meet 399. This is no ordinary bear. At 26 years old, she's the grandmother of Grand Teton. It's the height of summer, and lucky for her cubs, this veteran knows the best place for a refreshing dip. It's rare to have 4 cubs, and totally unique to have 4 at her age. Dubbed Queen of the Tetons by her many fans, this bear is famed for having at least 22 descendants. She's a big part of the grizzly bear success story in Grand Teton National Park. They enjoy protection and thrive because of the varied food sources and habitats. Numbers have increased from 136 to over 700 bears in this region since the mid-1970s. One of the secrets to the bear's success is to eat all summer long. This mama and her cubs need to gain enough weight to hibernate. Grass may seem like a surprising meal for a bear, but summer's the perfect time for grazing the Grand Teton meadows. There are over 100 species of grass here, found in every single habitat, and animals throughout Grand Teton depend on them. The name of the Shoshone tribe, who were among the early guardians of Grand Teton, comes from Sasoni, a type of high-growing grass. As summer draws to a close, 399 will show her cubs new food sources, making the most of the entire park. She may be queen of the Tetons, but she knows how to eat like a king. Apart from winter, seasons don't last long in Grand Teton National Park. As the air turns crisp, a certain magic takes hold of the landscape. But there's more to this explosion of color than meets the eye. Green leaves are the tree's food-making factories. All summer long, chlorophyll converts energy from the sun into sugars to feed the tree. As the days shorten and the temperature drops, the leaves stop their food-making process. The green chlorophyll breaks down. Revealing the yellows and oranges beneath. What we know as a spectacular show of color is actually nature's most beautiful display of death. It's less of a trash disposal and more of a recycling project. As the leaves change color, the vital nutrients are broken down and sent to other parts of the tree, where they are stored for a spring rebirth. The fall colors bring tourists to the park in droves. This is arguably the best time of the year to capture its famous views. But something else is bringing visitors from all over the world to Grand Teton. Something that can't be captured in a photo. As fall colors peak, a mysterious sound fills the air. A bull elk. Bugling for his future. And it's not just one. Every bull wanting to mate needs to put on a performance. Some bulls bugle so much, they lose their voices. It's an essential part of their annual mating ritual and the language of love for these females. This master bull has bugled his way into the hearts of a harem. Now, he has to keep their interest until they're ready to mate. Easier said than done when you're threatened by rivals in all directions. Fail now, and he'll forfeit his mating rights and his future. He has to prove his worth. This could be their very last night together. His serenade turns silent. This bugle is different. It's a call to battle. Dawn brings a new day to the park and fresh hope to the challengers. The master bull hangs on as other bulls gather. But this rival has sparked the interest of a female. The master bull needs to rally to keep his harem together. They're nearing estrus, a fertile window of only 12 hours. If he loses them now, mating rights pass to this Romeo. her loyalty lies with the master bull. For now, but dissenting voices are getting louder. The tensions reach fever pitch. The battle of the bugles is over. The rut is on. 2,000 pounds of flesh, locked in a battle of strength and determination. The rival flees with nothing more than a wounded ego. The winner takes the ultimate prize. It will be his offspring roaming Grand Teton National Park. After mating, the lucky guy will resume a solitary existence. The park provides everything he needs to recharge and refuel, as the grip of winter is just around the corner. He's not the only one getting ready. A Clark's nutcracker, harvesting seeds from whitebark pine cones. A special pouch under his tongue stores up to 150 seeds at a time to be buried all over the park. An insurance policy for leaner times ahead. Squirrels cache this tasty treat too. But thieving bears can quickly ruin a hard day's work. At over 50% fat, whitebark pine seeds are the perfect food to fatten up for the winter. And in Grand Teton National Park, seasons change in an instant. Soon, the rich treasures of this park will be buried once again. The first snowfall is a signal to North America's largest elk herd to move now. The Snake River at dawn. The early snows have not yet settled, but soon this water will begin to freeze over. And this female knows better than to stick around. With the rut over, she's resumed leadership of the herd. The master bull hangs back. His job is done. The pregnant females now face their biggest challenge yet. She knows they need to migrate south or risk starving to death. It's a journey she has taken every year since she was born. Now she shows her young calf the way for the very first time. The herd sticks together, taking comfort from each successful stride their companions make. The water is shallow and slow flowing at this time of year. The gushing torrents of the spring melt, a distant memory. The Shoshone people left these lands every winter. And just as generations of elk had trodden their path before, their unborn calves will follow this migration for years to come. Their departure is a chance for Grand Teton to replenish. When they return in spring, the park's protection will provide safe calving grounds and bountiful food for the next generation. As winter takes hold, some opt to stay and make the best of things. Temperatures drop and stretches of the Snake River are starting to freeze. The otter family needs open water to keep them fed through winter. Blessed with an insatiable curiosity, they are intrepid explorers. Even when this water eventually freezes over, they won't give up the search. They are entirely dependent on the Snake River for the duration of winter. And as long as you know where to look, the park will provide. Grand Teton National Park will now sit under snow for 6 months. Knowledge is crucial to surviving here. 399 may be a senior citizen, but this wise old bear knows the secret to success in this wintry wilderness. As she heads into hibernation, this could be the last time she looks upon the land she knows so well. No one knows how many more winters she'll see. But one thing is certain. Her knowledge of this land will live on through her many descendants. In return, Grand Teton National Park will provide for each and every one of them, just as it's done for the generations of people, plants, and animals before them. The Florida coast is host to one of the biggest gatherings of animals in the United States. Mullet in the millions. Heading south past Miami Beach toward a very special national park. A journey that is fraught with danger. The mullet have 10 miles to go before they reach Biscayne National Park. But first, they need to run a gauntlet of predators. Biscayne National Park. right on the doorstep of Miami. These inviting waters are home to Florida's most iconic animal, the manatee. They're here thanks to one of the most important habitats on the planet. Seagrass meadows. The rainforests of the sea. They provide oxygen and lock in carbon with their roots, helping to protect our natural world. For a manatee mom and her calf, it takes somewhere special to provide everything they need. Warm, shallow, sheltered water and seagrass. Lots of it. Mom needs to eat around 66 pounds a day. Luckily, almost half of this park is seagrass. Once full, she can relax and feed her calf. The family will spend the summer hunting for the best grazing. Their travels take them past the park's islands. Its tropical mangrove forests. And further north, past Miami. But it won't be easy. Finding good grazing in Florida's waters is becoming difficult for manatee moms. In polluted water, algal blooms smother the seagrass meadows, preventing sunlight from reaching them, and cause the grass to die. Florida has lost 50% of its seagrass beds since the 1950s. As a result, manatees are declining too. But along a coastline struggling to preserve this precious habitat, Biscayne's seagrass meadows are a vital oasis. Manatees are not alone in depending on the seagrass. It's also home to one of the park's smallest inhabitants, the dwarf seahorse, just 1 inch tall, and a surprisingly bad swimmer. To keep from being swept away, they use their tails to hold on. They feed by sucking in passing food. So quick that if you blink, you'll miss it. But it's their love life that causes a stir. In the seahorse world, males have babies. His partner merely drops her eggs into his kangaroo-like pouch, leaving him to do the rest. "11 days later, birth starts. Once out, the little ones are on their own. Some are reluctant to leave the safety of Dad's pouch, even during birth. Their instinct to hang on is strong. Dad gives birth to up to 16 young at a time. By fish standards, seahorses have a fairly high survival rate. But the future of these tiny critters is heavily reliant on the health of the seagrass beds. Luckily, this youngster's new home is within the protected waters of Biscayne National Park. 95% of it is underwater. The park's seagrass beds and resident seahorses are kept safe from the wild Atlantic Ocean by the third largest coral reef in the world. The Florida Reef rises up out of deep water, creating a protective wall 360 miles long. Shielding 6 million people from waves and storm surges. The true unsung hero of Biscayne National Park. The Coral Barrier Reef marks the park's Atlantic edge. On its western boundary lies an unlikely sanctuary for one of the park's largest predators. Meet the American crocodile. Weighing in at 400 pounds and 10 feet long. Classic ambush hunters. Nothing is off the menu for this crocodile. Unlike her more fearsome Australian and African cousins, she's no man-eater. Hers is a story of hope and survival. By the early 70s, there were less than 300 American crocodiles left in Florida. Now, there are thousands. Thanks to an unlikely savior. In the 1970s, Turkey Point's nuclear power station was built next door to what would become Biscayne National Park. It's now home to nearly a quarter of the American crocodile population. Their fierce reputation does them a disservice. Croc moms are surprisingly caring. 11 weeks ago, she buried around 30 eggs in this shallow nest. She's checking on her brood with increasing regularity, listening for the sound of chirping within the eggs. Hatching has started. The sound of their siblings chirping from inside the eggs spurs the hatchlings to stage a mass breakout. The hatchlings are nearly a foot long. Equipped with sharp teeth and ready to go. But this great escape isn't so easy for everyone. Breaking out of the tough shells is hard work. You'd better hurry. Mom is waiting to carry them to the water. Without her help and protective presence, you'll be vulnerable. Best not get left behind. Even if your sibling walks all over you. For hatchlings struggling to escape, Mom will step in to help. For this little guy, there's no need to shout for Mom. Freedom. The American crocodile's future here at Turkey Point is looking bright. With the addition of these newborns, numbers are on the rise. Between the park and the power station, the crocodiles have over 170,000 acres of protected area to roam. More than enough space for this clutch of growing youngsters. Every corner of Biscayne National Park provides shelter and a home. The saltwater-loving mangrove forests are no different. Rising from the sand, they're one of Biscayne's most valuable resources. These tangled trees absorb the power from storm surges, protecting the coastline and millions of people from destructive waves and erosion. Alongside the seagrass, mangrove forests are a powerful tool in the fight against climate change. They can store 5 times more carbon than tropical forests like the Amazon. The role they play here is priceless. Above water, birds roost in the branches. Underneath, mangroves hide a secret world. With easy pickings for those in the know. The tightly packed roots of the mangroves are a perfect location for a fish nursery. A safe and sheltered home to grow up in before leaving for the reef beyond. But every neighborhood has its troubles. A juvenile lemon shark cruises Biscayne National Park. Here to learn one thing: how to hunt. The fish have the size advantage in this deadly game of hide and seek. The lemon shark needs to be patient. Luckily, he's got the time. He will hunt in the safety of the mangroves until he's 7 or 8 years old, before moving out to live and hunt along Florida's sandy coastal shallows. Fish aren't the only ones to use Biscayne National Park as a nursery. Under cover of darkness, and undeterred by an encroaching lightning storm, an old traveler returns to the beaches around Biscayne. A female loggerhead turtle she's traveled thousands of miles to lay her eggs on the beach where she hatched. Once in position, she digs a deep enough hole to fit in over 100 eggs. Over 40% of the world's loggerhead nests are in Florida. During the summer months, nearly 100,000 nests will be dug by returning turtles. Eggs laid and buried, her role as mom is done. It's exhausting work when you're not designed for a life on land. From here on, her offspring are on their own. Mom returns to her life as an ocean wanderer. It will be at least 2 years before she's back to lay again. But it will be over 20 years before her daughters are mature enough to return. Although dominated by water, the park isn't only about marine life. There are 4,000 acres of offshore island keys. Running through the heart of Biscayne National Park sits the largest, Elliott Key. This tropical island is home to a fragment of hammock forest, an ecosystem that once stretched all the way through the Florida Keys. Dense, damp, and tangled, this is now one of the rarest habitats in North America. For millennia, Elliott Key was used as a seasonal settlement by the Tequesta people and then by fishermen. In the 1960s, developers started plowing a highway through the island. Public backlash and the establishment of Biscayne as a national monument in 1968 halted the work. Today, the overgrown highway is delivering some very special cargo. This is the Schaus's swallowtail butterfly. Their undulating flight is perfectly evolved to navigate the tangled ancient trees. They can even fly backward, handy when avoiding avian predators. It's a sight which nearly disappeared. When a survey was done in 2012, only 4 were found in the wild. Thanks to the work of the Florida Museum of Natural History, these butterflies can again be seen flying free. (1,650) captive bred swallowtails have been released. Today, another 53 will join them. Some are pair bonded and ready to help add to the wild population of Elliott Key. Over the next 3 weeks, they will mate, lay eggs, and die, establishing the next generation. Maybe soon, this dancing butterfly will not need their human matchmakers. Back at the beach, under the cover of darkness, the loggerhead hatchlings have left the nest. following their mom's route down the beach and out to sea. All except one. She's alone and vulnerable. She goes for it, following in the flipper prints of her siblings. But there's something lurking in the darkness. A ghost crab. Hatchlings can be easy prey. Especially when she's on her back. By luck or instinct, flicking sand in her attacker's eye turns out to be the perfect defensive move. Free at last, she needs to get a move on. With dawn comes a much higher risk of predation from passing birds and raccoons. She's running out of time. She's made it. And just in time. She now faces an epic journey. With Biscayne National Park far behind, she's heading out to the Sargasso Sea in the mid-Atlantic. There she will feed amongst the vast rafts of floating seaweed until big enough to navigate the oceans on her own. As the hatchlings head out to sea, they may spot a curious sight. Perched on sandbanks a mile offshore sits a collection of wooden houses called Stiltsville. Built during the Prohibition era, it was used as an offshore speakeasy for drinking and gambling. At its peak, Stiltsville consisted of 27 houses, a community promoted as being dedicated to sunlight, salt water, and the well-being of the human spirit. Today, things are quieter in the national park, and a different kind of wildlife stops by. Cormorants, much like the humans before them, use Stiltsville as a handy hangout for drying off and preening between fishing trips. Biscayne National Park is a place on the very edge. Its isolated, battered islands have a unique, timeless quality. Despite its proximity, to a bustling modern metropolis. It provides peace and sanctuary to visitors, as well as the wildlife. At the peak of summer, temperatures climb toward 90 degrees. The sun at its height is also at its most powerful. Visitors need to remember their sunscreen. Underwater, even the locals are not immune to the sun's strong rays. To protect from the bleaching power of the sun, the park's coral community have developed their own extraordinary type of sunscreen. Living inside the coral cells are microscopic algae called zooxanthellae. Fueled by the sun, the algae photosynthesize, giving the coral reef its color. Despite being sun-loving, the algae can be easily damaged by too much ultraviolet light. Their strategy? To make their own sunscreen. They produce a protein which absorbs the light and re-emits it in other colors, only visible to human eyes under a special blue light. The results are cosmic. The fluorescent pigments absorb the sun's damaging wavelengths of light and emit them as colorful light, protecting the algae. It's so much more than a beautiful spectacle. In areas where the reef is shallow, with no escape from the midsummer sun, this is a life-saving strategy, revealing the remarkable resilience of these tiny superheroes of the reef. The hot summer sun on the warm water can also trigger a reaction above the water. Mile-high cumulonimbus clouds bubble up above the warm ocean, creating a thunderstorm, heavy with rain, heading for Biscayne National Park. The arrival of the rain and the rising tide threatens a community of thousands. The storm may have passed, but water levels continue to rise around a nest of fire ants. This aggressive, invasive species has few predators, but the rising water will easily drown the ants in their nest. Time to evacuate. The ants have an ingenious solution. Following chemical signals, and an unspoken plan, the entire colony starts banding together, forming a living raft. No one is left behind. The large queen, along with her precious larva and pupa, are kept safe and dry in the middle. The rest of the ants continually rotate position. And when underwater, air pockets allow them to breathe. They can remain like this for weeks. But as soon as the raft hits anything above the water, the colony will de-raft and construction of a new nest begins. Biscayne's visitors change with the seasons. Some prefer the heat, others the cool of winter. The wildlife is no different. Early fall, and the mullet are running. Millions of the banana-sized fish have arrived to travel south along the coast of Florida, catching unwary swimmers by surprise. Normally found in the rivers and estuaries of the Carolinas, Florida, and Georgia, the mullet are now traveling south, past the white sands and the high rises of Miami Beach toward Biscayne National Park. Their aim, to spawn in the warm waters off southern Florida. But a gathering of this size does not go unnoticed. Predators are lured in by the possibility of a feast. Sharks and tarpon patrol the edges, waiting for the perfect moment. The mullet have nowhere to go but up. Tarpon attack from the side, the sharks from below. Birds pick off fish trapped against the surface. But even with this many hunters, the fish have the odds stacked in their favor. There are 10,000 fish per hunter. There's safety in numbers. For most, anyway. Their huge numbers serve another purpose. When the time comes to spawn, it works best if everyone goes together. A mass spawning, creating and sending the next generation of mullet out into the blue. Biscayne National Park stands at the very forefront of our battle with a changing climate. Fighting for it is an army of passionate, dedicated scientists and volunteers, working to ensure the future of the park and its wildlife. In doing so, Biscayne will continue to protect both the human and animal inhabitants of Southeast Florida. A reminder that America's national parks are there for all of us. Channel Islands National Park. A northern elephant seal pup is nearly ready for life in the Pacific. She's all alone. Her mom left to hunt and hasn't returned from the ocean. Unlike her cousins, she has no one to feed or protect her. Finding a surrogate mom is the only option. Luckily, she couldn't be in a better place. This park is home to the largest gathering of northern elephant seals on the planet. Drawn by protected beaches and waters teeming with fish, they arrive in the thousands every year. The young pup must use every instinct if she's going to survive alongside the many animals living in one of America's most inspiring national parks. "12 miles off the California coast lies Channel Islands National Park, North America's forgotten wilderness. Isolated from the mainland, it's home to more than 2,000 species of plants and animals. 145 are found nowhere else on Earth. This is where the Wild West meets the ocean, revealing a California of old. 5 unique islands make up the park: Santa Cruz, Santa Barbara, San Miguel, Santa Rosa, and Anacapa, all surrounded by protected waters that form a shield around the park. Animals living here tell a story of the amazing conservation efforts to restore these islands. The Channel Island fox, found nowhere else on Earth. In 2004, they were on the brink of extinction. Now, after years of protection by the park and its conservation partners, over 5,000 foxes call this national park home. 1 foot tall and only 4 pounds in weight, they're one of the smallest canids on the planet. But they're top dog and the largest land mammal in the park. This young male may be no bigger than a Chihuahua, but in its mom's eyes, he's all grown up. Barely 1 year old, he's been close to her his whole life. These days, it's the new pups on the block demanding all of her attention. It's time to find a new place to call home. But he can't start the journey on an empty stomach. Island foxes are omnivores. Half their diet comes from fruit. The other half, they have to catch. Like grasshoppers. The park serves up a tasty buffet of these protein-packed snacks. Ears 5 times more sensitive than our own pinpoint unsuspecting prey. Belly full, he stumbles across a mysterious structure. A piece of human history on Channel Islands National Park. For over 13,000 years, the islands were inhabited by the seafaring Chumash people. Hunter-gatherers, they were eventually displaced from the land, but it remains their spiritual home. Many were also enticed by the islands. From conquistadors in the 16th century to pioneer ranchers in the 1800s. At the height of the Civil War, the demand for wool saw the land undergo enormous change, transforming it into an agricultural powerhouse. Thousands of sheep, pigs, and cattle grazed across the islands. By the time ranching ended, the islands were left virtually barren. Escaped feral livestock pushed many native species close to extinction. Then, in 1980, President Jimmy Carter established the 5 islands as a national park. Today, These remnants serve as a backdrop to the resurgence of native locals, like the Channel Island fox. Back on the park's most westerly island, the northern elephant seal pup calls and waits for a reply. Immediately after birth, she learned to recognize the unique rhythm and pitch of her mom's calls. She can't hear her anywhere. Mom was drawn away, back to the park's thriving seas. Weak and hungry, the pup searches for a surrogate, using her sharp eyesight to avoid danger. Tensions here are rising. Males arrive here each year for one thing: to breed with as many females as possible. Dominant males called beachmasters hold mating rights over a harem of up to 50 females. They must defend them and their title from fierce challengers. Up to 14 feet long and weighing more than 2 tons. Bulls are lethal weapons. Getting caught in the crossfire could mean game over. She needs to stay out of harm's way. With the beachmaster distracted, another rival appears. His sight set on an unguarded female. But the pup is resting directly in his path. The elephant seal pup is in the wrong place at the wrong time. Caught beneath a 2-ton bull. Several of the pups were crushed, suffering injuries or worse. Luckily, she made it. A little worse for wear. This pup is a born survivor. Her ordeal may be over, but she still has to find milk. So one day, she'll be strong enough to hunt in the ocean. Fish thrive in the 1,500 square miles of protected waters surrounding the Channel Islands. Half of the national park's territory is underwater, perfectly positioned between the crossroads of two Pacific Ocean currents. Cool, nutrient-rich waters from the north mix with warmer waters from the south. Bathed in California sunshine, conditions are ideal for blooms of plankton to grow, making the Channel Islands' coastal waters some of the most biologically productive on the planet. Huge shoals of fish draw seabirds, sharks, and thousands of marine mammals from miles around. And these plankton-rich waters even attract the largest animal on Earth, the blue whale. Weighing nearly 200 tons and reaching up to 100 feet in length, they eat 4 tons of plankton in a single day. And then there are the sea lions. They live here in their thousands, thanks to the park's underwater kelp forests, growing up to 100 feet tall in the cool, shallow water. The park allows these underwater forests to thrive. Providing shelter and food for over 1,000 species of plants and animals. Food here is so plentiful, sea lions even have time to master that California tradition: surfing. Life within the kelp is good. But on the forest floor, a menace lurks. Threatening the kelp's existence and the entire ecosystem it supports. Left unchecked, sea urchins can decimate entire kelp forests in a matter of months, creating wastelands known as urchin barrens. Razor-sharp teeth make short work of a delicate kelp leaf, slicing it into bite-sized morsels. Along the west coast of America, kelp forests are under threat. But on this Channel Island reef, one forest defender is fighting back. The California sheephead wrasse, the hardest working ranger in Channel Islands National Park. Up to 3 feet long and weighing in at a hefty 35 pounds, the urchins have met their match. These wrasse might look a bit goofy, but this huge white chin is the source of their superpower. Some just aren't big enough for the job. But this bruiser has just the thing. Enormous shell-crushing jaws, packed with sharp teeth, easily destroy the prickly snacks. When it comes to taking urchins, size really does matter. Thanks to the heavyweights of the kelp forest, everyone gets a share of the spoils. The protection provided by the park allows the wrasse to reach their full potential. They keep the grazers of the kelp in check, benefiting all the animals that depend on the health of these waters. Like the California brown pelicans, who come to nest on the eastern islands of the park. Thousands arrive each spring. It's the only place on the west coast of America where they breed. These are the most inaccessible areas of the park and are predator-free. Why live anywhere else? The pelicans time their arrival with a boom in anchovy stocks, which makes up 90% of their diet. Huge shoals gather just a minute's commute away. It's like living next to a convenience store. Handy when you have to feed your chick up to 4 times an hour. The park supports them, and in return, they fertilize the native Coreopsis flower. These tall yellow plants shelter the young from the elements. Parenting here is no picnic. They raise clutches of up to 4 chicks every year. Each one needs 110 pounds of fish to reach independence. At 6 weeks, their demand for food is so great, both parents fish constantly. They barely see one another, like 2 ships passing in the night. But the chicks can't rely on mom and dad forever. When they reach 11 weeks old, their parents will stop feeding them. If they don't learn to fly and fish soon, they could starve. Try as they might, the juvenile pelicans haven't mastered the art of flying just yet. They need to strengthen their wings and wait for seasonal island winds before they can join the vast fishing squadrons flying overhead. Life here wasn't always this abundant. 50 years ago, the colony was on the brink of being wiped out by a pesticide called DDT. The situation was so dire that one year, only a single chick hatched. The California brown pelican's fate looked sealed, until a national outcry saw the use of DDT pesticides banned for good. Today, an incredible 13,000 breeding pairs live on the islands. And their numbers continue to grow. For thousands of years, the Chumash called this place Piawapu, which translates to the house of the pelican. The islands are living up to the name once again. Thanks in part to the bountiful feeding waters surrounding their island home. Across a short stretch of ocean, food is just as abundant, if you have the right tools to find it. The young fox's powerful nose leads him across an abandoned ranch toward a sweet and mysterious smell. Fig Central. Introduced by ranchers, these fruits are a welcome gift. Problem is, word's gotten out about the free lunch. Hungry rivals are everywhere. He needs to fill up for his journey, but there's little more than scraps left. It's every fox for himself. Tempers flare for the remaining fallen figs. The young male is as cunning as, well, a fox, and spots an opportunity. Why risk a beating fighting over scraps when a bigger prize is up for grabs? Channel Island foxes have an adaptation that allows them to do something few other foxes can do. They are tree climbers. Semi-retractable claws allow them to hook into tree bark. They can also rotate their paws inward, just like a cat, giving them excellent grip. At 30 feet off the ground, he's king of the park. Despite the bounty of food, there's just not enough space for him here. He must continue his journey, finding a territory to call his own. Half of the island fox's diet comes from fruit. He swallows the seeds whole. From figs, cherries, and prickly pears, his movements across the island are reseeding sources of food for generations to come. In turn, bird numbers have rebounded. And the extra vegetation stabilizes the park's soil, preventing runoff into the sea, keeping the kelp forests that surround the islands in pristine condition, benefiting all the marine species that depend on them. The park's rehabilitation of this once endangered animal has been key to the restoration of the Channel Islands. But territory is at a premium. With so many other foxes around, he's forced to travel over the driest areas of the island to find it. After a long trek, this comeback kid is thirsty. He searches high and low. This fox needs to find water, but from where? It's scorching hot, and the island fox is parched. Searching for new territory is tiring work. It hasn't rained for months, and the freshwater springs are scarce. But the park provides, thanks to its unique weather and geology. And it all starts out at sea. As the sun heats the land, vast quantities of moist ocean air condense over the cold coastal waters. Winds driven by the currents push the water vapor against hillsides, accumulating into clouds of thick fog. This life-giving moisture drifts across the islands. Droplets form on specialized leaves, dripping down like steady watering cans. Fresh, cool water, ready to drink for the thirsty island fox. It's been a long journey, but he's finally found territory within reach of the island's fog, providing him with a reliable source of fresh water, ready to drink straight off the leaf. Someday his pups will carry on the legacy of this hardy island ranger, restoring the ecology of Channel Islands National Park. During the summer months, nearly all moisture here is gifted from the ocean. For some trees, their seeds wouldn't germinate at all if not for the fog. Like the island scrub oak, found only on the Channel Islands. Their canopies mesh together, catching as much fog as possible. Water then flows to other plants, which provide shelter for the oak's growing saplings. The park's oak forests are bouncing back, but this wouldn't be possible without the help of a very particular island resident. Dazzling blue and found only here, the island scrub jay, acorn connoisseur, and a bit of a hoarder. Brighter and a third bigger than their mainland cousins. With beaks perfectly designed for plucking acorns and burying them underground. Ready for later in the year. A single jay can cache as many as 6,000 acorns in a season, more than they will ever need. Up to half of the acorns are buried uphill, on journeys that gravity alone could not achieve. When food gets scarce, they use their incredible memories to return to the same spot to dig up dinner. Island scrub jays leave some of the acorns they stash in the ground. It's thought that half of the island's oak trees were planted by these resourceful birds. Acorns were also a staple of the indigenous Chumash people. They traveled between the islands and the mainland in canoes called tamals, built of California redwoods. The park still attracts seafaring adventurers looking to explore the geological formations of the islands, journeying back in time along the long-forgotten haunts of fortune-seeking smugglers and pirates. Today, visitors come to catch a glimpse of a different kind of golden treasure. The shallow waters of the Channel Islands host one of the park's most colorful characters. When sea temperatures rise, a fastidious fish gets very busy. Every year, California's very own state fish, the Garibaldi, returns to the exact spot on the kelp forest floor to attract a mate. Many females have come to his neck of the woods looking for the perfect nursery for their eggs. To attract as many partners as possible takes some good old-fashioned home improvement. Cultivating a perfect lawn of red algae for eggs to grow makes him the perfect choice for a partner. And he knows it. He spends an entire month fixing up his bachelor pad, keeping it clear of clutter. To catch the eye of a female, it needs to be an inch thick, as wide as a tire, and spotless. But hungry visitors threaten to eat his lawn. All he can do is kick them out. Again and again and again. All day, every day, for an entire month. He's one house-proud fish. And it's paid off. A female here to lay her 40,000 eggs in the soft manicured algae. Within minutes, she's gone. Now the job falls solely to him. It's non-stop daddy daycare. For 2 full weeks, he'll defend his eggs from predators, while fanning oxygenated water over his brood to keep them healthy and give them the best start in life. When they hatch, he'll remain at the nest for another 5 months to raise 20 more broods. Quite possibly the most devoted dad in Channel Islands National Park. Not all animals are so lucky when it comes to their parents. On the park's most westerly island, the elephant seal pup is still looking for a surrogate mom. Her strong sense of smell leads her toward a lactating female. But it's not going well. The beach is a hostile environment for milk thieves. Mothers must keep their supplies safe for their own pups. She picks up another scent. An adult female is nursing a handful of seal pups. Could this be the surrogate she's been searching for? The elephant seal pup has finally found a surrogate mom. Only a third of abandoned seal pups manage to find a surrogate. Usually, a mother who has lost her own. The lucky pup gets to feed, and this mom's maternal instincts are met. If their relationship continues, the pup will soon be strong enough to leave for the ocean. For centuries, northern elephant seals were hunted for their blubber. The practice was banned in the 1920s, but the damage was done. The situation was so bad that they were once presumed extinct. Until a small colony, no more than 100 strong, were found. Since then, enormous efforts to protect their beaches have given them the space needed to make a full recovery. Back on the park's most easterly islands, another conservation triumph is playing out. California brown pelicans have come to raise the next generation. At 11 weeks old, the juveniles are strong enough to take off. Seasonal island winds give them just the boost they need. Brown pelicans are the only pelican species that plunge dive. It's a learned skill. Only by watching the adults can they master the technique. They may be a bit clumsy now, but will learn through trial and error. The work of dedicated conservationists has made the difference between extinction and recovery. Thanks to safe havens like the park, California brown pelicans have been officially removed from the federal endangered list. Life is rebounding across the Channel Islands. offering a glimpse into California's wild past and serving as a blueprint for future conservation. The Park Service and its allies are giving the islands the time and space needed to heal. Their dedicated work continues to preserve them for future generations. The animals needed a helping hand to recover. Now they take the lead in restoring their home. In just 40 years, 5 islands have been returned to the wild. Beacons of hope for a planet in trouble. The rebirth of Channel Islands National Park proves nature can recover. The lone seal pup is finally ready to join her colony out in the Pacific Ocean. Migrating 11,000 miles and remaining at sea for 7 months. Until next year, when she'll return to Channel Islands National Park. Alaska's Lake Clark National Park. A vast, thriving wilderness where big beasts roam. Coastal brown bears, fresh out of hibernation. Their sole focus is finding food. The hunt is on. The bears pounce on every opportunity to fatten up before winter. It's a race against time to feast on the bounty in Lake Clark National Park. Lake Clark National Park is a hidden Alaska gem. A pristine landscape, virtually unchanged in thousands of years. Established in 1980, the park protects the headwaters of the largest sockeye salmon run on Earth. Named after one of its lakes, the 40-mile-long Lake Clark. But there are more than 20 lakes here, all bursting with life. Water is the lifeblood of the park. A pair of courting redneck grebes. They have a perfect nesting spot. A shallow lake edge surrounded by vegetation, where they are unlikely to be disturbed. The male faces a challenge. He wants a family, but first, he needs to impress the female with his nest building skills. It may seem like he's showing off, because he is. Some last-minute finishing touches before site inspection. The female has the final sign-off. She likes what she sees and invites the male to join her. An attentive nest builder is likely to make an attentive father. Now it's a waiting game to see if the pair will produce any chicks. Dad's still hard at work. His next job? Feeding them. But it's not easy to digest bony fish. Luckily for the chicks, Mom shows them a bizarre trick. She takes one of her soft down feathers and eats it. The feathers act like a sieve, protecting their intestines from spiky fish bones. But the real trick, she's got to get her chicks to eat a feather too. This is not going to be easy. Almost. Oops. Finally, the chicks got it. An ingenious solution to a bony problem. When it comes to food, the animals in this park are lucky, because Lake Clark is supercharged by incredibly fertile soil. Thanks to 180 million years of volcanic activity. Two volcanoes are still erupting, Mount Redoubt and Mount Iliamna. They pump out mineral-rich ash, nature's fertilizer, across the park. Glaciers also play a part, grinding down the bedrock as they move to create nutrient-packed glacial flour. Meltwater carries this flour down to the lakes. It gives them their distinct turquoise color. These nutrients spread through 6,000 miles of rivers and streams that flow across the park, helping to create a thriving ecosystem. The meltwaters also carry rocks with them, which are scattered along the coast. They provide the perfect lounge for harbor seals and their pups. These rocks are a safe haven for them, offshore away from land predators like wolves, bears, or coyotes. In less than a month, the pups will be ready for life on their own. To meet that target, they will not leave mom's side. The high-fat milk will get them big and strong, fast. In or out of the water, they have to keep up. When they want to rest, glacial rocks provide a sanctuary out of danger. Just behind the coast, Lake Clark National Park offers another rich habitat. The salt marsh, one of the most productive ecosystems on Earth. They flourish thanks to huge tides of nutrient-packed seawater, mixing with mineral-rich river sediment to create a biological supermarket. The meadows are the perfect food source for one of the park's largest residents, who are just waking up from their winter slumber. Brown bears. The abundance of food across the park allows it to support one of the densest populations in the world, where they can live for up to 25 years. Among them, a female recently emerged from her den. She's not alone. This mom has an adorable cub, intent on exploring the world around him. But mom is on a mission. When brown bears emerge from hibernation, they have often lost up to 40% in weight. This pair has just 5 months to fatten up before the next tough Alaskan winter. Mom and cub have one thing on their mind: eating. It takes a lot of work. Mom needs to eat for at least 12 hours a day to maintain her weight. The grass might not provide much energy, but it is the perfect appetizer to kickstart their stomachs after hibernation. All this eating can be tiring. It's a carefree start, and the cub is completely relaxed. Until a lone bear strides toward him. The bear's not coming for the cub. It's got another target. They're sizing each other up, battling for superiority. The cub still needs to keep his distance. Mom makes sure he stays behind her. It looks serious. But the fight won't get deadly this time. These guys are siblings, training for when they take on a real challenge. Show's over. It's back to eating. The meadows are a tasty starter, but they'll need to delve deep into Lake Clark's pantry to put on enough weight for winter. While the bears remain in the park year-round, others are passing visitors. The park's shoreline and inlets make the perfect rest stop. Over 120,000 shorebirds head here every year. This flock of sandpipers stop on their way to their breeding grounds. The mudflats are packed full of worms and edible critters, giving the birds a chance to refuel. Then, after 6 weeks, refreshed and re-energized, they leave as one. For people, it's not so easy to come and go. Less than 20,000 a year make it to this roadless wilderness. It's a rare opportunity to be immersed in 4 million acres of nature at its purest. A tenth of Lake Clark National Park is covered by boreal forest of mainly spruce and birch, providing an ideal habitat for a young family. Nestled beneath these tree roots is a den. Of red foxes. There are 5 pups in the litter. With boundless energy, they are full of adventure. Exploring everywhere. Mom has her paws full, with so many mouths to feed. Luckily, the forests are full of tasty morsels. But with her pups' growing appetites, she's spending more time hunting, leaving her young on their own. Their play fighting is taking on serious intent as they learn to fend for themselves. Stalking, pouncing, honing skills vital to their survival. They may need those skills sooner than they think. Black bears are omnivores who eat anything. They're believed to have the best sense of smell of any land mammal. And he's zeroing in on the pups. The foxes spot the bear approaching and make a dash for the den. The bear has his snout down one of the main entrances. He can only be a few feet away. If they stay in the burrow, they should be safe. Finally, he gives up and moves on. The pups are safe. Their lightning reactions and instinct to hide away means this family gets to play another day. At the coast, the brown bears are ready for the next course on the Lake Clark menu. This barren beach might not seem like the obvious fast food stop, but it is, if you know where to look. Patience is key. Lake Clark National Park has one of the greatest tidal ranges in the world. And the next course only reveals itself thanks to the park's extreme low tide. Scattered all along the beach are bizarre-looking creatures. Razor clams. These quirky crustaceans are vulnerable once the tide is out. They quickly dig themselves into the sand, out of harm's way. All that's left is an indentation. You'd never know they were there. It's a clever trick. But the bears are on their trail. To pinpoint exactly where the clams are, the bears rely on their extraordinary sense of smell. Razor clams dig deep enough to avoid most predators, but they are no match for a bear's 4-inch claws. The beaches of Lake Clark are a rich hunting ground. This protein-packed meal is 3 times more nutritious than vegetation. The cub watches closely to learn how Mom does it. He's starting to get the hang of this. But here's a bit of a challenge. That wasn't in Mom's training manual. The cub figures out how to get the better of this nippy crab in the end. With bellies full of food, it's time to play. Roughly translated as, let's annoy the heck out of Mom. They kiss and make up with a loving bear hug. With the tide returning, the bears head inland, where the main course awaits, leaving the clams to others who are able to catch them from beneath the water. One of the smallest marine mammals on the planet, the northern sea otter. Great news for the park. While still in very low numbers, they could become more frequent visitors to this rugged coastline. They too are fans of these clams, diving down to the seabed to hunt for them. While some dive for themselves, others are diving for two. This pup is 2 weeks old. The waters here are just a few degrees above freezing, so Mom keeps him suspended out of the water, cuddling him to keep him warm. Otters need to eat a quarter of their body weight in food every day just to survive. So how does she keep him warm when she dives for food? By grooming. That's how. It looks fun and relaxing, but there's a serious side. It traps air bubbles against their skin, insulating them from the cold. Clams can be found up to 200 feet deep off the coast of Lake Clark. But with such a young pup, Mom makes shorter dives in shallower waters. With all that grooming, he's keeping warm. Mom soon returns. Within a few minutes, she'll be diving down again to feed her endless appetite. Further inland, Lake Clark's National Park's meandering rivers are starting to burst with life. There's something making its way to the park in huge numbers that hungry animals are waiting for, especially brown bears. No animal is more important to Lake Clark National Park than sockeye salmon. More than 40 species of mammals and birds rely on the nutrition the salmon provide. Right now, over 370,000 salmon are arriving in the park's estuaries. Their vast numbers are supported by the near pristine waters of the park. It's one of the greatest migrations on the planet. The salmon surge upstream with one aim: to breed. This annual migration of salmon is a symbolic marker in the calendar of the people who traditionally live in Lake Clark National Park. The Dena'ina. They have been in Lake Clark for thousands of years. Salmon are one very important piece of a larger tradition of living with and caring for the land. Ruth Miller was raised in the Dena'ina homelands.
This is my people's land. We call it Kijne-Vena, the place where people gather. It's where my ancestors are buried, and it's where I feel at my happiest. Growing up in my territory gave me access to the forest, the mountains, and the water. Native people to this day live off the land. We trust in the ripening of the berries and the freezing of the ice. We depend on the timing of the salmon runs to our bays and to our rivers. My people maintain a deep spiritual connection to this place.
Ruth carries out a salmon ceremony, making an offering of the bones from last year's salmon to help the fish recognize their pathways home.
To live sustainably with the land means practicing gratitude and giving more than you take.
The Dena'ina way of life is a timely reminder to us all that we're not separate from nature, but part of it. And nature thrives throughout the park, from the largest scale to the smallest, right beneath the feet of the adventurous few visitors to Lake Clark National Park. Hidden amongst the moss of the forest floor, little landmines. Round-leaved sundews, small in size, but packed with attitude. This crafty carnivorous plant has a clever way to lure its prey. First up in its arsenal of weaponry, nectar glands. These glistening droplets entice passing prey with the promise of water. But instead, they're met with a sticky surprise. The trap is set. And when a fly gets stuck in the sundew, the plant deploys its second weapon. Tentacles slowly curl inward, engulfing its victim. Those water-like droplets contain enzymes, which quickly break down the insect, making it easier to digest. But the plant doesn't always have its own way. This plucky ant is putting up quite a fight. Now only trapped by a single thread, he manages to free himself and escape. The world of Lake Clark National Park underfoot is full of drama. At the higher elevations, a more rugged landscape emerges. This is alpine tundra, a treeless zone at over 4,000 feet. It's buried under snow for most of the year. In this remote corner, only the hardiest survive. Even in summer, temperatures are low and the growing season is short. Yet it provides enough for Arctic ground squirrels. They hold the record for the longest hibernation in North America at 8 months. They're on the same mission as the bears, to put on enough weight for winter. But in even less time, just 4 months. And so they have no choice but to be hardcore all the time. Life is hectic. First, they need to eat as much as possible. And then gather plenty of grass to take to their dens. So that when temperatures plummet to -40 in winter, they have a cozy nest to help keep warm. Equally as busy are the salmon. They surge toward their spawning grounds, further up the park's rivers, with laser-like intent. Just a month ago, the salmon were silver. But an incredible color transformation has happened. No longer eating to save energy, they absorb their silvery scales for nutrition, revealing the stunning red pigment in the flesh underneath. This ultimate sacrifice does have benefits, making the salmon more visible to potential mates. But it also makes them more visible in the final stretch to their breeding grounds. For the salmon who do make it, their final destinations are the very creeks, streams, and lakes of the park where they were born. They have one final mission: to breed. Once a female finds a good spot, she churns up the riverbed, creating a nest of loose stones, an ideal hiding place for her developing young. Nest ready, the male comes to join. As she releases her 5,000 eggs, he leaves a cloud of milt on the nest. But all this activity doesn't go unnoticed. The salmon's arrival has enticed some of Lake Clark's brown bears from the coast. This concentration of fish is the main course that the bears have been waiting for. They exchange the 24-hour salad bar and clam snacks for a fish feast that could last weeks. But salmon can be elusive. Each bear can consume a staggering 100,000 calories every day. The salmon's lives are not lost in vain. Even in death, they keep on giving. The nutrients contained in their bodies are now being transferred from the sea to the land, fertilizing the soil and promoting plant growth. The salmon that escaped the bears will still die a week after spawning, enriching the streams, lakes, and rivers. This mom and cub arrive for the feast too. She's wisely waited until after spawning to get an easy meal of dead salmon on the riverbed. Mom reaches down to pick one up with her back legs. Careful now. Some bears hate, like really hate, getting their ears wet. Perfect. Mom has got herself and her cub through the summer season. In doing so, she secures her legacy in Lake Clark National Park. Where animals, plants, and people all coexist in harmony. A place seemingly frozen in time. But all this could change. Alaska's weather is warming faster than any other U.S. state, melting the glaciers and threatening to upset the rhythm of life here. It's a reminder that we need to protect America's national parks for all our futures. If all goes well, in a few years, it will be the Cubs' turn to raise a family in one of the last great American wild landscapes, Lake Clark National Park. Spring in Voyageurs National Park. Hidden within its dense forest, 9 tiny wolf pups, just 4 weeks old. To feed them, the pack needs to hunt a lot, leaving the pups home alone. There's plenty of time to play. Being a pup can be exhausting. But one youngster is restless. He howls for mom. In such a large backyard, it will be hard to hear his small voice. Wolf territory can be 30 square miles in Voyageurs National Park. Mom is out of earshot of her pup. She's busy prowling the park for food. A vast, spectacular jewel tucked away in northeastern Minnesota. Voyageurs is one of America's best kept secrets. Over 10,000 years ago, glaciers scoured the land and filled it with meltwater, leaving behind a stunning mosaic where 84,000 acres of beautifully clear water meets over 130,000 acres of forest. It's a wonderland, home to over 100 bird and 50 mammal species. And up to 9 wolf packs. They have the space to thrive and an abundance of prey, including one animal that makes the park its own. Signs of their presence are everywhere. The beaver, the largest rodent in North America. Around 3,000 live in the park, making it the unofficial beaver capital of the United States. This hardworking family has been busy. Over the last decade, they've cut down trees to build a dam across a stream. It now floods a large area. A 2-acre oasis in the middle of Voyageurs' thick forest. These industrious engineers didn't stop there. They built a home right in the middle of the pond. Accessible by 2 underwater entrances. A fortress safe from predators. And it needs to be. Hidden inside, 4 tiny kits, just a few days old and raring to go. It's never too early to start wrestling, to see who's boss. The kits won't leave until they're a month old. It's a tight squeeze when all 10 family members are home. But in spring, bigger beavers spend more time topside, for good reason. Fresh green grass is exactly what they've been waiting for. The edge of the pond is their local veggie patch. Beavers are excellent swimmers, but much slower on land. To keep safe, they need to stay close to water. Because the woods are full of predators. Dad's appetite is driving him into the danger zone. A beaver would make a tasty snack for one of Voyager's top hunters. Mom raises the alarm. The beaver family retreats to their underwater refuge. For the wolves, it's back to Voyager's lush forests. The park is one of the only places in the lower 48 where they have lived continuously for 8,000 years. It remains a hotspot, home to the densest population of wolves in the Midwest. In spring, they hunt beaver, young deer, and other small animals, leaving their young in the den for several hours. That's a long time when you're a pup. Luckily, his parents are nearly home. In just a few months, the pack will leave the den behind to explore the park as a family. Wolves are protected by Voyager's thick forests, but its waters also provide a sanctuary to a rare wetland species. Less than 100 years ago, trumpeter swans were on the brink of extinction. Now, Voyager's biggest birds have made a comeback. Over a third of the park is submerged. It's the perfect home for swans that build nests surrounded by water. They often mate for life. This pair reinforce their bonds by head bobbing. They are new parents. Mom incubates the eggs, while Dad keeps watch. Because a nest in the park is prime real estate. Others have their eye on it. Dad needs to step up to defend his patch. He launches into action to protect his unhatched family. A wingspan of over 7 feet is intimidating. His rival runs out of road. Dad saves the day. Now, he can focus on helping Mom raise the next generation of Voyager's giants. Early summer in Voyager's National Park arrives with a welcome splash of color. Temperatures rise to a balmy 78 degrees. Many of the park's 400 species of wildflower come to life. Insects rush to feed and mate. Beaver dams double up as natural bridges. And their ponds become vital feeding stations, rich enough to draw out a secretive creature. A moose, one of the largest mammals in North America. There are only around 40 in Voyagers. Make that 41. This mom is in need of a fast food fix to produce milk for her calf. Aquatic plants are up to 4 times more nutritious than those on land. Just what she's looking for. But Voyager's ponds are a popular summer destination. This male's antlers are the quickest growing tissue of any animal on the planet, capable of adding a pound of bone every day. The extra nutrients in the plants help grow the biggest antlers, showing he's in charge. Mom is fiercely protective of her calf and doesn't like company. Time to disappear back to the safety of the forest. The park's extraordinary location puts it right where 2 different forests meet. A southern boreal woodland of trees such as pine and fir that can exist at high altitudes and cold temperatures. And a northern hardwood forest of trees like sugar maple and birch. 2 different, special homes for all of Voyager's 50 species of mammal. In early summer, new arrivals are eager to make the most of the park's trees. These 3 black bear cubs were born in a den 4 months ago and have recently emerged with their mom. They join the 150 black bears in the park, all of whom are not afraid of heights. These cubs are fearless. and they need to be. Voyager's trees will be their escape route when trouble looms. Voyagers National Park is home to many of North America's most iconic animals, although it's not always easy to find them. In a park the size of 165,000 football fields, there are plenty of places to hide. Tom Gable and Austin Homkes head up the Voyagers Wolf Project. Today, they're looking for pups. The team has already collared the adult wolves, so they have a good idea where the den is. With no adults around, Tom takes a look to see if the pups are there.
Oh, man. Oh, gosh. Oz, over here.
Then it's over to Austin to get them out. With 7 years of experience, he knows exactly how to extract the wolf pups with minimal harm. But this den is challenging.
I gotcha.
Austin has to squeeze down a twisting 12-foot tunnel to reach the wolf chamber.
Yep.
Then somehow put the pups into a bag with only a small headlamp for company.
All right. It's going to take some force to get them out of there.
Even if the adult wolves are close by, they pose no risk to Tom and Austin, and they'll always return to their pups as soon as the team is finished.
Got him? Yep. Okay. All right. Wow, he's a fatty.
The pups are tagged with a microchip.
It's right in the back of the scruff.
So the team can follow each wolf's every move.
All right.
A hair sample allows for DNA testing. Finally, they're weighed to find out how healthy they are.
3210.
This research builds up a fuller picture of how many wolves live in the park, what they eat, and where they go. Helping the team to devise a plan to protect this remarkable species, not just in Voyagers, but in forests across America and beyond. Summer is in full swing. For the park's beavers, it's time to relax and take their foot off the gas, just a little. Dad likes to explore for the tastiest things to eat. Beavers prefer a tree's inner bark, the sugary tissue layer. And he has just the right tools for the job. 4 self-sharpening incisors, which never stop growing. Now, a few months old, the kits have left the security of the lodge and are growing more confident by the day. Although not ready to leave Mom's side just yet. But their peace and quiet is about to be broken by a pair of interlopers. An otter mom and her pup have come from a nearby river, drawn to the beaver pond with its bounty of fish, trapped when the stream was dammed. In these still waters, it's easy pickings for these speedy torpedoes. With powerful jaws and teeth, they make quick work of their bony prey. The beavers seem unfazed by their squatters. They don't eat fish, so there's no conflict of interest. But a male otter has also arrived at the pond. He's larger than the female and takes up residence right on top of the beaver lodge. Dad isn't going to stand for some noisy trespasser coming into his home. Having put the otter in his place, he gets on with his chores. The pond is big enough for all of them, but the beavers were here first. The relationship between voyagers and beavers has existed for millennia, long before it was designated a national park in 1975. Ever since the glaciers receded, nomadic tribes flowed in and out of the area before the Cree, Monsoni, Assiniboine, and Ojibwe people settled permanently. Beaver fur and meat kept them warm and well fed. But it's from more recent visitors that Voyageurs National Park takes its distinctive name. By the 17th century, traders arrived to fuel the demand for beaver fur in Europe. Canoemen, known as voyageurs, transported the pelts via the waterways. And the park's name was born. Today, the traders and canoemen are long gone, but one magical sound still rings out across the park. The cry of the loon. The female calls to her mate to keep in contact. They arrived from the Gulf of Mexico 6 weeks ago, looking for a place to raise a family. Voyageurs Lakes, with their coves and islands, provide cover from predators. They take turns on the nest to keep the eggs safe and warm. After nearly a month, something's stirring. Their first chick. And then another. Less than a day old. And already eager to take their first dip. It's a promising start. But at 60 degrees, Voyager's legs are chilly for little chicks. To keep warm, they need to hitch a ride. Getting on board is tricky. Finally, one of them makes it. And the other follows close behind. Mom and Dad's taxi service isn't available 24/7. This family needs to eat. The park's lakes are home to thousands of small fish. Dad has caught their first meal. Even if it's large for such tiny beaks. A hungry loon family can put away up to 800 pounds of fish in just 3 months. An abundance that attracts another of the park's predators. A chick is a soft target for a bald eagle. Mom goes on the defensive. Dad distracts the aerial threat with a splashy display known as a penguin dance. It works. But the chicks need to become self-reliant pretty quick. Mom and Dad will leave the park when fall arrives in about 3 months. The youngsters will be left to make their own journey south a few weeks later. Voyageurs National Park has more than 30 lakes and a multitude of smaller ponds and pools. And for one species, they've provided a vital refuge for millennia. Tucked away, a prehistoric relic takes a break. Snapping turtles have hardly changed in over 200 million years. That's older than many dinosaurs. In the shallows, she's able to reach the surface to breathe while sitting on the bottom. Breakfast is simply a waiting game. Snapper by name, Snapper by nature. She doesn't need to move much to have everything she needs. But that changes today. 6 weeks ago, she made it in this pond. And now, she's ready to leave to lay her eggs. She checks that the coast is clear. There's not much in Voyageurs that could threaten her. But you can never be too cautious. She walks the same fixed 3-mile route. Researchers think snapping turtles may have an astonishing way to navigate using both the sun and Earth's magnetic fields. Her very own GPS tracker. This is her final destination, one of Voyager's sandier stretches, ideal to dig a shallow bowl-shaped nest with her powerful hind legs. She lays up to 40 ping-pong ball-sized eggs. In just under 3 months, the next generation of Voyager snapping turtles should hatch. But only if they get that far. Up to 90% of nests are destroyed by predators, often during the very first night. Any eggs that do make it will secure her ancient legacy. Job done. Mom starts her long solo trek home. The snapping turtle survives today because its life has been relatively untouched by the modern world, thanks to the park. Voyagers is one of the less well-known of all America's national parks, with just 250,000 visitors each year. The easiest way to explore is on water. Canoes for the more adventurous. Houseboats for those who prefer their creature comforts. There's always something surprising to discover, day or night. Because in this park, you can witness one of the greatest light shows on Earth. The Northern Lights. These collisions of charged particles and gases have a long connection to the first people who lived here. Ojibwe traditions teach that when a person dies, they move through the next world as spirits to join their ancestors and dance in the sky. These awe-inspiring lights, known as Wawate, are believed to be those celestial celebrations. Fall arrives in Voyagers National Park, beautiful and brief. Winter is never far away in this great American wilderness. Colored leaves are more than a vibrant spectacle. Each holds vital nutrients. Voyagers has just the right moist and cool conditions to break them down into the soil. A perfect world for fungi to thrive. They are so abundant that no one's been able to put a number on how many species lie within the park's boundaries. These mushrooms are just the part of fungi we can see. Underneath is where the magic happens. Long, thread-like filaments grow and spread underground. Mycelium breaks down debris, creating a fertile soil for Voyager's 50 species of trees and shrubs. But the job isn't finished yet. Another type of fungi, the truffle, lives amongst the roots to help trees absorb nutrients. There's just one problem. It lives underground and can't easily disperse spores and multiply. The truffles need help, which comes from one of Voyager's most elusive animals, the flying squirrel. She only emerges under the cover of darkness, gliding up to 150 feet using a specialized furry membrane called the patagium. At 10 inches long, she's an easy target for the park's predators, so she spends most of her life in trees. Truffles are one of the few things that tempt this high flyer to the ground. It's a dangerous place for her. But the promise of a truffle is too good to resist. Its natural perfume is irresistible. They make up to 90% of her diet. Jackpot. She'll deposit the truffle spores all over the forest as waste, helping Voyager's trees to flourish and thrive across the park. Each fall, beavers reap the benefits of the squirrel's nightly gardening. It's their busiest time of year, when a healthy supply of trees is more important than ever. There's so much to do. Add more logs to strengthen the dam to withstand winter storms. Plaster the lodge with mud and twigs to freeze into a concrete hard sealant for protection. And collect as many branches as possible to build up an underwater pantry to last the winter. It's tiring work, and a power nap is needed from time to time. But with the whole family helping out, many hands make light work. They prepare as best they can, although some things are out of their control. It hasn't rained in Voyagers for weeks, and the water in their pond is dangerously low. If winter arrives before the rain, the pond will freeze through to the bottom, trapping the beavers in their lodge. Hopeful signs are on the horizon. Rain arrives at last. Water levels rise just in time. Winter comes early in Voyagers as cold, dry Arctic air flows in from Canada. By late October, a thick layer of snow blankets the park. Temperatures can drop as low as -40. The beaver lodge is barely visible and the pond is completely frozen over. It's unlikely to be free of ice for 6 months. It's calm and desolate on the surface, but below the ice, life continues to buzz. Beavers don't need to hibernate. Their makeshift fridge means they can spend the whole winter without having to go topside. Able to swim underwater for 15 minutes at a time to collect food. Inside, the temperature hovers several degrees above freezing, while outside, it's well below zero. The kits are now 6 months old, able to join the family wherever they go. Thanks to incredibly thick fur, just one stamp-sized patch of beaver skin is covered with up to 126,000 hairs. That's more than on a human head. But it needs care and attention. Spreading oil from their glands all over the body and using feet as a comb keeps a beaver's coat nice and waterproof. They work together to survive Voyager's long winter. Above ground, Voyager's National Park transforms itself into a breathtaking winter wonderland. Perfect conditions for an expert predator. The great gray owl doesn't watch for signs of life. She listens. Her hearing is up to 10 times better than a human's. Even concealed by snow, Voyager's continues to provide. Voyager's National Park is an ancient water world just waiting to be explored. A remote sanctuary for America's most iconic species. Home to endless horizons and magical sights. America's national parks inspire us to think big and safeguard the natural world from the challenges that lie ahead, helping to protect the habitat for now and the future.